What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Off Market Operator Podcast. I am your host, Ruud-Johnson, and for some reason, I've been using the word y'all a lot recently. So you might hear me say that. I don't know why. No clue. Don't know why. I'm not from Texas, but we're going to rock with it. So on today's show, you guys, I'm talking about a topic that came to mind today when I was doing our weekly community call for our community. And the question was around JVing deals and that process, and should you be JVing deals if you're starting out when you're trying to, wholesale deals, which is an interesting question and one that I like to answer. And it kind of got me thinking about a concept of branding and specifically social media and how you can get a lot of extra deal flow by doing this the right way. When we're all starting out on our journey, I'm sure you guys listening to this, for your first couple of deals, I'm sure you JV'd with someone if it's a new product or a new market. And there's nothing wrong with that. I gave the example today that when I was starting out, there were some deals that I was getting offers on that I was going to make $10,000, $20,000 in assignment fee, that by JVing that deal, I made 30 and they made 30 because they had the buyers, they had the leverage, they had the reputation. And this kind of goes hand in hand with the second question that I got today on the call, which was, where do you start? If you're just getting started, what market should you be going after? And what I told him was I would 100,000% start in your local backyard, because you can show face, you can go to meetups, you can build a brand, you can get to know title and escrow officers, you can get to know the market, each neighborhood. So if your market's decent size and it has, the example I gave today was it has a Chick-fil-A, but it has a common fast food chain and it has some size, a couple 100,000 people at least, start there, build a brand. Because that brand is what builds leverage, which allows things like what I'm talking about today to come to fruition. And when you're starting out, you realize how much leverage brand and relationships are in real estate. There's never been a real estate deal that happened without more than one person. It's never one person. There's a seller, there's a buyer, there's an agent. Sometimes there's a title and escrow company. There is inspectors and appraisers, and there's a lot of different parts of a real estate transaction that take place in order to move something forward. And the reality is that you guys listening to this, the bigger you build your brand, the better reputation you have for being someone who can sell any deal to a buyer, in terms of an off-market deal, wholesale deal, or if you're going to fix and flip, still having this reputation is amazing because people will bring you those deals and you can buy them. That's not what we talk about or teach here on the podcast, but it's valuable. So how do you first know if it's a good deal to JV? Right. That topic is one that I like to talk about. Well, one, if you're newer in the market, if it's a unique product or you can't sell it, it's a good time to go to a JV deal. And now the reason I'm so against mass blasting your deals via text messages, via emails, is because when you go to sell a deal off market to a buyer and you've already blasted it to the whole world, you're putting yourself in a very poor position to then go to a reputable big company and say, hey, will you sell this deal for me and split with me? If they already have seen the email go out to everyone in the universe, very low chance that they are going to then want to blast that deal and put their name on it because the market's already seen it and no one's buying it. That's not a good thing for you. So you want to personalize and make your deals exclusive if you want to make sure you're actually taking advantage of being able to JV deals. Now, the reason I'm talking about social media and brand a lot on this show today is because of the fact that social media is a valuable distribution point right now. People do not look at business cards anymore. They just don't. They look at your Instagram profile or your Twitter or your LinkedIn. That's how they find out who you are, what you do, what you stand for, and evidence that you've had success in the past. And so when you're out there at events, when you're out there at meetups, and you're not posting about yourself, about your business on social media, you lose a lot of leverage. One, the psychology of this is people tend to work with people who are out there putting their work into the world. It builds a little bit of trust and credibility that you just do not get otherwise. So very important, very, very valuable piece of information. So how do you build that presence? Well, the first thing you can do is just literally document the deals that you do, right? Document, share the deals that you do out there in the world, with the world, up and down. Document your day. Document if you're wholesaling deals, to just talk about what you're doing. The second thing I can recommend is understanding reputation, right? Like it takes years to build a reputation in this business, and it takes one bad deal to destroy it. And it's valuable because once you get to a point of, I call it escape velocity with your brand, and you're the person known for moving inventory, what ends up happening is a bunch of people who have deals that they're trying to move those deals. A lot of them get it to a point and end up realizing that they are better off moving those deals through you. And there's a couple of years where we were able to generate a couple $100,000 extra in revenue off people bringing us their deals to sell because they were having difficulty selling their own deals. And that's the value of one, starting by JVing, but as you get bigger and bigger, people are going to want to JV with you. So there's both sides of it. And, paying them 50-50, and it brings a lot of, again, you're not sourcing the deal. You have no cost to acquire that property in terms of finding the house. But if you're then selling it, all of a sudden you have a very real and very tangible way to make an extra buck, so to speak, on your business by just having a brand and doing what you say you're going to do and selling deals. So this podcast is kind of rambling on a couple of different topics, but reality is a couple of things I've highlighted that I want to reemphasize is build a brand for yourself, build a social media presence for yourself. It's weird to be on camera. I didn't used to like making mistakes like that, talking on the mic or talking on stage. But the more of a brand you build, the more you talk about what you do, the easier life tends to get. Opportunities flow to you, business flows to you, and you become someone people want to work with. And that brings about a lot of things that are positive. There's some negatives, but mostly positive. So if you're out there, you're getting after it, you're doing things, you're doing much cooler things than you think you are. If whatever you are doing in your business, you are doing way better things than you think you are. Way better things than you think you are. And that's the reality of the situation. You're doing cool stuff, share it. It'll build a brand for yourself. And it'll get easy, right? And also don't be afraid to JV deals if you're newer, and definitely be open to JV opportunities if you're more experienced, because now you have the buyer relationships, now you have the experience, you can make a lot of extra money that way. And the best part is too, those kind of JV deals actually, and I talked about this today in my call, those kind of JV deals lead into opportunities for them to become mentors and relationships and friends and peers and people that are going to help you through your journey. Those people help me through a lot of hard spots. So, well, great show today, you guys. Very, very, very good show. I know it was short, but it's about stuff that matters, building a brand, building your reputation, and how that can compound and benefit you long term. So without further ado, I'm going to let you guys go. But as always, remember, you are truly only one deal away.